Hey, this is Chuck, and you are listening to Fans with Bands, the podcast where we talk to the fans and the bands they dig about life, music, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about.
Today on Fans with Bands, it's time for Music Notes with Nuno. Check it out.
Hey, this is Fans with Bands, and it is time for Musical Notes with Nuno. Nuno, how are you, buddy?
Hey, I'm great, Chuck. How are you, man?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I've been looking forward to our chat because I knew we were going to get into, we never know exactly where we're going, but
No.
we start with an idea and we go
And
from
then
there.
Let it flow.
Yeah, yeah. And so this time
Yeah.
we're talking about guitar players, eh?
Yeah. Shredders.
Shredders.
Would be more exact, right? Not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shredder, not that kind of shredder, but
or not
guitar
the
shredding.
not the paper shredder that you
No,
use.
not
at
the paper shredder. No,
Yeah.
not that kind of shredder as well. No.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
who are you thinking of when you what
Well,
what comes to mind first when you hear guitar shredder? What do you think of?
well, I think of guys like Steve Vai, Yngwie Malmsteen, that sort of fellow, Joe Satriani.
Yeah.
That sort of a fellow. I was thinking about this, and
Uh-huh.
preparing for our conversation. And a friend of mine once told me that very eloquently. He told me that there are two main seismic events in guitar shredding, guitar playing.
Yeah.
The first would be Jimi Hendrix, when Jimi Hendrix appears in
Yep.
late 60s, and then the second one will be 1978 when Van Halen 1 is released, the first album of Alex Van Halen. So
Yeah.
that's kind of two pivotal points in guitar shredding, because when you think about it, before Jimi Hendrix, well, Chuck Berry used to be very flashy when he's playing. He's not a technical player per se, but he was really flashy, doing all those splits, and
Oh
hanging his
yeah.
guitar, was very visual. And then there was this kind of, more stilted player like Hank Marvin from the Shadows, and
Right.
I remember also Dick Dale from the
Oh
surf
yeah.
guitar dude used to be very,
Yeah. He was. Yeah. His
an awesome,
guitar
an
playing was
awesome, yeah.
influential for sure.
Yeah, very influential and forgotten sometimes
Yeah.
when talking about guitar playing. And so
Yeah.
that was kind of the idea I had start from there,
Yeah.
because yeah, and then when Eddie Van Halen comes, it's another stone in the pond, with a lot of ripples,
Right. Right. And
yeah,
I would.
for better or for worse, because
Yeah. Oh no, I loved. I
yeah,
mean, I can still remember when I saw the album because
yeah,
my friend Jim, I was living over in for those that know Michigan area.
yeah,
I was in Pinckney, which is like northwest of Ann Arbor, about an
okay,
hour from Detroit. So we're there. I'm at my friend Jim's house. It's around. It's probably like 1979,
yeah,
I would say,
mhm,
and there was he had an older brother, and his older brother
mhm.
had Van Halen 2, which has Eruption on it.
Eruption.
And
No, Van Halen 2, no, Van Halen 2 doesn't have
oh,
eruption.
oh yeah,
Eruption is
it
Van
has
Halen
some
1.
Spanish Fly. Yeah.
Yeah, Spanish Fly, that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so he goes, "Man, you got to check this out." So we listened to it. I was like, "Oh my god." Cuz at
Mm.
that time, probably the most flashy guitar player before that we were listening to was Ted Nugent.
Yeah,
He
okay.
was,
Okay. Yeah.
Double Live Gonzo was
Yeah.
everywhere and
A fantastic record,
yeah.
fantastic live release. Yeah.
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 But then, that album, and, slightly before that was Ace Frehley,
Mm.
who was pretty showy on the first,
Yeah.
on that Kiss Alive album. But yeah,
Yeah, but it was more
Van
showy
Halen.
than technical, I believe. It was more of
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
it was more the spectacle, the lighting, the smoke coming out of his guitar, his elevated shoes, like yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know how many feet above the ground, but
Oh, yeah.
it was those really huge
Yeah. Those
shoes he
platform
used to
shoes,
wear.
man. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
But still, his guitar playing is very influential. He's a very economical player, but still he's very elegant in what he plays. I'm not dissing on Ace Frehley,
Oh,
not
for sure.
not
Yeah.
in the very least.
Yeah.
He's a very competent, albeit straightforward, but it's deceptively simple. His
Oh,
playing is not that simple
yeah.
as people might think on at first glance.
Yeah.
So
Those Kiss Alive, Kiss Alive, and Kiss Alive 2,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
kicking ass. And it brought that band up from, because their studio albums, I know people love them, but they kind of
Yeah.
sucked. I mean, until Destroyer, they were kind of, whatever.
Well, the first release, the self-titled release, I think it's I think it's an underrated release
Yeah.
by them. It's a more
Just,
advanced
yeah,
album than people give it credit for. But then they started, studio albums, their production is very thin.
yeah,
I feel, yeah,
yeah, yeah. It
it's
lacked
paper thin actually.
the
Yeah.
live. I mean, just when
Oh,
they
it's
played
different.
live, it was so much more energy.
Completely different.
Yeah,
Completely,
yeah,
completely.
yeah.
Actually, I saw on YouTube, I saw these videos from, I think it was a British channel that played the stuff from the 70s, and they were playing live around that time of Kiss
Yeah,
Alive and Alive 2, around that time. And they were doing these shows indoors. It was in a very close space, not a stadium, nothing like that. But they were
right.
kicking ass, man. They were really
Yeah,
good. They
yeah.
were really, really good because there's all this controversy around which parts were recorded live on Kiss
Oh yeah.
Alive 1
Oh
at
yeah,
least.
for
And
sure.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
which was recorded live, which wasn't, how much studio tampering are we talking about? It's always that's always a controversy, but still that sound, that whole surround sound, if it was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
It was magnificent. It was like it was the biggest band in the world, man. That was, that kind of sound,
It was. It
it's
was.
yeah. But I agree with you because their studio releases, yeah, until they released on the 80s that album, which is called what? It's got that loud. I want to hear it
Oh,
loud, right between the eyes. What's it
yeah.
called?
Uh,
Something in the night, not Children of the
might
Night.
have been. Yeah. Like
No, not it's not Children. It's oh man. Yeah, I always get these, these
that
these
was.
things when
Were they unmasked at that point? Because that was like in the '80s, right?
yes.
In the
I think they
in the
were
midst
no.
of hair metal and everything
Yeah,
else, I think.
they became. It was around that time,
Was it
Creatures of the Night. We're
Creatures of the
Creatures
Night?
of the Night.
Was
That's
that
it.
was
Creatures of the Night.
Vinnie Vincent
With
on that album?
with Eric Carr on drums, which is that huge rack.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
it seemed to go on forever. It was even bigger than the one Nico McBrain used in Iron Maiden in the golden age of Iron Maiden. So that
That's
was,
right.
and then he had a tank turret in the front. So that's kind of it's
Oh yeah,
excess all the way, man.
yeah.
Excess all the way.
Well,
But
that's
that
Kiss.
studio album, in terms of studio work, I think that album is good. It's got a good punchy sound, a good
Yeah,
production, which was something that was lacking from their previous releases, for sure. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. But
Yeah.
when you were talking about 1978, and then we got off
Yeah.
onto Kiss, they brought out Rush, right? Was
Yeah.
it that time that they toured with Rush around then, maybe?
Maybe around 1978, I believe so, around the
Yeah,
Hemispheres tour or something like that.
yeah, or
Something like that. Yeah, it was about that time. Yeah,
yeah, crazy.
roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of an awesome guitar player, Alex Lifeson, who I think,
Yeah. Yeah. When you think about guitar players, he's not one of the first guys you remember, or choose
yeah,
actually, but he's an awesome guitar player and an underrated guitar player for sure.
yeah.
Because to keep up with those two guys,
Oh,
it's
I
not
know.
easy. It's
Yeah.
not easy. It's
Think of
not
that.
easy.
Three dudes that are just
Yeah.
so excel so much, right?
Yeah, yeah. Now they're doing stuff more, they got in a keyboard player now.
Do they?
They have support players with them. Yeah, they
Oh,
have a
wow.
keyboard player.
Well, that'll be
Uh,
interesting.
yeah,
I know
because
they did the Juno Awards recently, right?
yes, they did, and the keyboard player was there. Yeah, he
Ah,
was
all
there.
right,
But
cool.
they played a track from their first release, from I believe the self-titled release,
Yeah,
Finding
yeah.
My Way or something.
Finding
No,
My
Finding
Way,
My Way.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe so.
That's definitely a rock and roll album. Yeah.
I'm gonna start singing now, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start yodeling. It's my trademark. I have to yodel. I have to yodel it out so people know it's me. Yeah, but he's a fantastic guitar player. Once there was a discussion on the subject, and a friend of mine told me that he has more pedals than Robert Fripp. So that's saying something.
He's got to
Robert
compete.
it doesn't have so many pedals because the delays, the kind of effects he uses, pioneering, and it's like you said, it's three guys on stage. Then one is playing that Moog synthesizer with his feet,
Right.
and Neil Peart was going all, and then the drums would rotate and it would be the electronic part, during the 80s and 90s and beyond. But
Right, yeah.
and his guitar playing, he's a fast guitar player. There's this solo. I don't know if it's the introduction to the trees,
Oh,
which is an acoustic part.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's kind of an acoustic part, and he's
Yeah.
kind of fly. He's
Oh, yeah.
doing some arpeggiated
In
things there.
some
Whoa, this
flamenco
guy can really
almost,
play.
you know?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
guy can really play,
Yeah.
And I believe he's one of throughout the 80s, I think that he was one of the guys that, evolved in a positive way, his sound, it fitted the Rush's sound,
Hmm.
it fitted
Yeah.
that kind of, 80s spacious, technical, or the electronic, not electronic in the least, but okay, but more synthesized, if you
Yeah.
will,
Yeah.
and he played that
Yeah,
spectacularly.
he made the best out of what he could do there, and
Yeah,
he
sure,
kind of
sure.
got into that thing, sort of like Andy Summers, right?
Yeah,
With
sure.
Police,
Yeah.
trying to just be support like a supportive role in the band, but also like have some super chops, right? That were kind of go under
And
the
he he
radar.
he has that chops, I have some of his jazz records, and he plays spectacularly. He's a fantastic, phenomenal player, and he had a long career before the Police came along. So
Yeah.
that's kind of and he had played with Eric Clapton, and all those dudes we know from the 70s and even late 60s. He played with a lot of them, so that kind of speaks volumes to his credit, to his playing, and he's an excellent player. Even though sometimes when you listen to "Don't Stand So
Oh
Close
yeah.
to Me,"
Yeah.
that kind of jolly tune, but
Yeah.
the guitars are there and the drums, it's hard, it's complicated, it's not an easy thing to do. So
Yeah.
that's kind of a very cool thing.
Yeah. And well, and when you were talking about the kind of jangly guitars that necessarily
Yeah,
kind of go under the radar, I was thinking of
yeah.
Elliot Easton too from the Cars.
The cars, yeah,
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 that dude rips. He is
yeah.
so good. But you don't
he,
think of
he
it because
does
you
these.
think of the Cars, right?
Yeah,
And you're like,
yeah.
oh,
You think
it's
of the
just gonna
cars, but
be,
but he has the ability to do these short burst solos, but they
yeah,
are phenomenal. They're so well played and so economical at the same time.
yeah,
It's just a few bars, but it's, man, you wish that go on forever. So,
yeah, for sure. And it's
because
they're
I
definitely,
was yeah, I was watching an interview by Nuno Bettencourt, the Portuguese guitar from
oh yeah,
Extreme, the Portuguese guitarist,
yeah,
and he talked about the guy from the Cars. He talked about he
oh
said he was one of his guitar heroes because the guy was awesome, and he is. He right,
yeah,
actually is. When you listen to the Cars, you listen to that popish stuff, but when he kicks in, he always kicks ass. It's always on point, always great solos,
yeah,
even if they're short bursts of, but they
right.
are awesome,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
And
like
that,
you were saying, they
yeah,
fit perfectly within the
yeah,
tune, but they're
yeah.
not just like overblown.
They're not
Um,
intrusive in any
yeah,
way. They're complementing the song, and that's for me, it's like when you think of The Edge. I think we've mentioned The
oh
Edge
yeah,
before on our
for
previous
sure.
conversation, one of our previous conversations. For me, The Edge is not a technical player, and is not. But if he wants to take an heavy metal, want to do a heavy metal solo, he'll do it. If he wants to, to rip, if he wants
Yeah,
to do something more indie style, more echoey, he does it all. He can do it all,
yeah,
within the song or the context of the song and what the song needs. And that for me is a type of virtuosity as well.
for sure.
Mm,
Well,
yeah,
and as you were talking about that and thinking of the Edge, I was then went to David Gilmour because
yeah.
another player that does serves the song but has these dazzling solos, just
Yeah. That
fantastic.
was probably one of my first, I was thinking, what were my first, guitar heroes,
Yeah,
Probably was Pink Floyd, was David Gilmour,
yeah.
and also listening to Matthias, although he's not considered a virtuoso per se, but he plays really well. Matthias Japs from the
Oh
Scorpions,
yeah, from Scorpions, yes.
listening for those songs that you love. Here I am,
Yeah,
rock you like a hurricane. The song
yeah,
that I know you love. No?
yeah. Or
But
Blackout. The solo in
Blackout.
Blackout is
Yeah,
fantastic.
but he's a great player, and
Yeah,
he came after two fantastic players. He,
yeah,
he had to he had to fill in the shoes of Michael Schenker and Uli John Roth, another
yeah.
fantastic, phenomenal player. So that's
Right.
kind of it's not an easy feat.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
exactly.
I remember listening to Edward Van Halen's solo on "Beat It," Michael Jackson. I
Oh
remember
right.
that as well. I said,
Yeah,
"What the hell is going on?" I was listening to a pop song, and then this tapping solo in here. What the hell is this? What the
yeah,
hell is going on in here? So that's kind of for me, was also one of my, inspirations, if you will,
for
for
sure.
for
I mean, because
starting to.
Thriller was everywhere, and I remember
Yeah,
hearing it because they didn't really say that it was Eddie Van Halen at first, right? They just
Yeah. No,
kind of like
that
it
kind
was
of
Michael Jackson,
it
and
was
then you're
undercover. Yeah, it was
yeah,
yeah,
and you're
it
like,
was
whoa,
not divulged. No,
and I was like, that sounds like Van Halen, and it was. I was like,
it
oh
was the guy, right?
yeah. You know, around that time, another one that was kind of under the radar,
Yeah,
that played on another album. So David Bowie's "Let's Dance,"
yeah.
that has Stevie Ray Vaughan on it. So
Yes, yes,
the
it is.
guitar there
Yes,
is Stevie Ray
yes, it
Vaughan
is.
before he became like a
Yeah,
legend.
yeah.
Yeah,
Before he became a star, he saw him in a pub playing or something like that. I
yeah.
saw the story goes, and the guy flipped out. I think it was him and Mick Jagger at the time that were watching him live, playing live in this club or this cafe or whatever.
Yeah,
This little place that where he was playing at the time, and he said, "Well, man, he just flipped.
yeah.
So and
That's
he became the player. Sadly, he's gone, but he left a mark, an indelible mark in music and guitar shredding,
oh yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
I felt lucky to see him. I actually saw him and Eric Johnson. In
yeah,
I don't know if they did the same. Well, I saw him and Jeff Beck, which
yeah.
was phenomenal.
What a pairing, right?
Yeah, because I have loved Jeff Beck for
Yeah,
forever. I mean, that was
me too.
probably one of the early, like like you
Yeah,
mentioned, Hendrix, and
yeah,
then getting into like Jeff Beck,
yeah,
and then of course uh, the Maiden guys, Adrian and
yeah.
Dave, and
What about
well,
Dennis? Don't forget Dennis
yeah, oh
on the first record. Don't
yeah.
forget Dennis Stratton because Dennis Stratton is a fabulous guitar player, and yeah, he does
he
some
gets
amazing
lost
stuff on
because
the
he was
first.
he was
Yeah,
only on that first album, but it was
yeah,
awesome, right?
yeah. He was an awesome guitar
Transylvania.
player. I followed the somewhat his career in terms of he had a band called Lionheart earlier
Oh,
on early 80s after leaving Iron Maiden. And then he played later. I thought it was on the first record, but no, the Tell No Lies, Praying Mantis.
oh,
Not on the
really?
first record. He played
Oh,
with Praying Mantis, but later, on a
later.
later incarnation of the band. I thought he was a founding member, but no,
Uh,
that's not correct.
crazy.
But yeah,
Yeah.
and I was mentioning to a friend of mine quite a while ago about the two Adrian Smith and what's the other guy's name?
Oh,
Dave Murray.
Dave Murray. Yeah.
Yeah. And I said Dave Murray is the guy that usually is more in the back, but when he comes in the front, he burns, man. He burns everything around him.
Oh, he does.
He has this technique, this it's
He's got
unmistakable.
he's got
It's
the leg.
completely his.
So the way I think of those two guys is like, so
Yeah,
Adrian is he's got more of a staccato attack,
yeah,
a
sure,
little bit more on the blues end, and
yeah,
then Dave is just super legato. And
yeah,
how, I mean, you think about like trills, like, so Tony Iommi was awesome at doing this too, just like just
mhm,
a hammer on trill. And
yeah,
Dave Murray does that too, just like
yeah.
you're like, how does it
How the hell does
move
he
that
do that,
fast?
right?
Because it's
Yeah,
not picked. He's just
no,
hammering on. It's like, holy
yeah.
shit, it's
He's
amazing.
like
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
only hear, but
yeah. And
it's
he's
all his
picking one
fingers.
note, right? And
Yeah,
then yeah,
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 yeah.
it's phenomenal.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like the guys from Aerosmith, Joe
Oh yeah,
Perry and Brad Whitford, because
yeah.
everybody idolizes Joe Perry, but even
But
Joe Perry himself has said that Brad Whitford is a better guitar player than he is, and
well, all the cool solos when you
yeah,
hear them, that's really Brad. I mean,
yeah,
he's doing
yeah,
the really cool solos, especially on the early albums. You
yeah,
know,
sure, sure,
um,
yeah,
yeah. I because I've always thought that too. Is like everybody kind of idolized Joe Perry.
yeah, yeah.
He
He's
writes
a
some great
flashier
songs.
player,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but Brad was the dude that like
yeah.
ripped up those solos and made them
Yeah,
awesome.
Brad he's used to be in the background, but when he comes front,
Oh
man,
yeah,
he melts that thing, Yeah, that's a cool thing.
yeah,
It's cool that the guy is content with being in the background, and when he does his stuff, he wants to do it. Yeah, and he does it perfectly.
yeah.
So that's kind of a cool thing as well.
Well, I was thinking of because you made great points about the kind of those evolutions in guitar playing with
Yeah,
Hendrix kind of just changing everything, Eddie Van Halen changing everything, and
yeah,
then in the early '80s you got those classical influences. So first from Randy Rhoads, and
Raider Rhodes,
then
yeah, sure,
Yngwie Malmsteen changed
yeah,
everything with that sweep
yeah.
guitar
He
playing.
changed the map, yeah,
I mean, you may like him or dislike the guy, but his technique, which he
yeah.
kind of ripped off some of that from Richie Blackmore, but he took it to the
Yeah,
next
we took it
level.
to the next level.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's different. It's a different
yeah,
thing because Richie is more of a blues, uh, bass player, and when Yngwie comes along, the guy is more of a classical, Paganini and stuff,
Yeah.
all that kind of arpeggiated things
Yeah.
that the Paganini did on the violin. He tried to do that same thing, and
Yeah.
that. Because I remember when I said, well, I like them, Yngwie. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Yngwie Malmsteen because I like them.
Yeah.
I I I um I ended up buying an album by him or listening to him later,
Yeah.
just 96, I want to say 94, 96 around that time with
Right.
Magnum Opus.
Oh yeah.
I've seen him live. I have somewhere, I don't know where, either here or in my mother's house, I have an autograph by him,
Oh, awesome.
because I went to see him and and this guy was with one of these encyclopedias. I told you this story before. He was opened on the page about Yngwie Malmsteen, and I just slapped my ticket on top, and the guy just scribbled in it, and so I have his autograph. And then of course, I listened to his first albums, the
Oh yeah.
the Rising Force, the
Rising
Marching
Force.
Out
Yeah.
trilogy, and those records, fantastic records. But then the guy kind of, got stuck in a rut.
Oh yeah.
I listen to Malmsteen now, and
Eh.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
I,
okay, it's technical, it's fast, lightning fast,
yeah.
but it's a bit like Steve Vai. He told this in interviews. There are a lot of players that are faster than Malmsteen. Yeah, for sure,
Mhm.
maybe that American guy, what's his name? I want to say, ah man, Chris Impallitteri.
Oh
Okay, so
yeah.
it's kind of is
Yeah.
the technique,
Paul
is always,
Gilbert.
sweep
Yeah.
picking. Yeah,
Yeah.
Paul Gilbert as well. But what Steve Vai told, and I agree with him, is that the sustain, the finesse with which Ingwe, he's fast, but he's still got this warm,
Oh
sound
yeah.
to him, So that's kind of nobody can touch that,
Yeah.
they may be faster players, like you mentioned. Paul Gilbert is faster. Even I was going to mention Michelangelo Baccio, from
Oh yeah.
Nitro, the guy with the
That
four,
dude. Yeah. That dude's
I was going to
insanely
mention him as
fast.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy, when
Right.
I listen to him, and he just, he has this strange technique where he rests one finger in the guitar just to get more speed in the,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
just below the strings. He just does that.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And of course, Paul Gilbert uses the drill, the power drill,
That's
with the
right.
three picks,
Right.
on the tip. So that's kind
Yeah.
of him and oh man, the bass player, um, man,
Oh,
the name of the guy. Oh, I'm seeing the guy, but I'm not. I'm seeing him live. I've seen him live with Steve Vai, playing with Steve Vai as well.
oh,
The guy
Billy,
with Mr.
or
Big.
yeah,
Uh,
um,
he's also with Mr. Big. Um,
Billy Sheehan.
I no, Billy Sheehan. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
him. That's him. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's him. Pat Torpey on drums, Billy Sheehan on bass, Paul Gilbert on guitar,
Yep.
and Eric Martin on vocals, I believe. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the lineup.
Yep.
Uh, but going back to my earliest influences, I would have to say probably for me was Marty Friedman from Megadeth.
Oh wow.
Uh,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
yeah,
When he
because when I
joined
started
Megadeth, that was
listening, yeah,
yeah,
because when I
fantastic.
started listening to heavier music, metal, and metal adjacent music, there was, Megadeth was, Countdown to Extinction was out, Rust in Peace was still a thing. So I kind of, I enjoy that, And then I remembered listening to his solo albums, his first, not first, because the first is Dragon Kiss, and it's a
Yeah.
technical effort. But
Well, and then
then
he was
in the
in
90s,
Cacophony with Jason Becker too.
yeah, Jason
Yeah.
Becker, another phenomenal guitar player.
Yeah.
But I must admit that only in recent years have I began to grasp his playing, because Jason Becker is another level of player. It's like watching that Alan Holdsworth guitar playing,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody talks about his guitar playing as being beautiful. For me it is, but I don't understand half of it. So
Yeah.
for me
Yeah.
it's a little bit, and Jason Becker for years was like that for me. Now I can listen to him and I have
Right.
the brain structure and brain power to process that thing. But
Right.
man, what a guitar player! And Cacophony, what a great band, what a great
Yeah.
power metal band it
Yeah.
was. But then when the guy starts recording those albums like Introduction and Scenes, and that all ambient stuff,
Mm-hmm.
semi or acoustic, so that kind of, what the hell is this guy doing? But I thought it was interesting, you know. I was thinking about Megadeth and what shredding he did in Megadeth, but the guy
Yeah.
went the opposite direction, you know. And that was it was, you know, it was ballsy, but it was a good move on his part, you know.
Right, right.
And later, I lost some interest because he started doing those almost like it sounded like a video game soundtrack because the
Oh,
guy lives in Japan and you know he started doing those you know weird scales and weird sounds and manipulation and you know that's kind of not my thing. But introduction, scenes, even the True Obsession album, all these albums feature Nick Menz on drums, so there
oh yeah,
that's a plus for me. So.
yeah,
No, but I tend to, you know, say, yeah, well, Mari Friedman was probably the first, you know, probably my first guitar hero. And then
yeah,
Paul Gilbert as well, you know, even he made me laugh when he did those Guitars from Mars videos and there was all these kind of quirky effects, you know, just because it is not the videos were about guitar playing and not at the same time because he was always doing these quirky things, you know, these quirky
yeah,
montages and stuff, and you know, because the guy has a weird sense of humor as well, so that kind
yeah.
of translated to the videos because it was completely different from other videos that I saw. I saw videos from you know from guys like Vinnie Moore, you know, and
Oh yeah,
even Richie Kotzen, you know, those Tony McAlpine, you know, all those videos, all the
yeah.
I
All the
used to
shredder
watch
runs.
those.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, those videos from those guys, and it was all technical. And now you do this, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
do it half speed. Dun, 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 dun.
yeah,
I'm gonna do it fast.
yeah,
And that's, but no, Paul Gilbert was always in a
yeah.
different league. You know, he's
Oh
an
yeah,
excellent guitar player as well. You know, he's fast as hell, but he he, he tends to you know to be his humor tends to be self-deprecating. Okay, he can you know he
oh for
can make
sure.
fun of himself. You know that's kind
Yeah,
of an awesome thing actually.
yeah, yeah. I got into all those. So I was thinking when at first about the my first kind of real guitar hero, and I would
Yeah.
probably have to say that's Randy Rhoads. I mean, as
Okay.
much as I
It
enjoyed
tracks.
Van
It
Halen,
tracks. Yeah.
Randy Rhoads, is just like God to me, and
Yeah.
wanting to be like him, and
Yeah.
to some extent like Dave and Adrian from Iron Maiden, because I got into Iron Maiden around the same time. So
Yeah.
so all three of those guitar players, I had
Or
on.
instrumental. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think my was it that first guitar I got? I think it was a black, like the knockoff Strats. It was a
Mm.
Fender, but it was like not. Well, the very first guitar I had was a Fender Telecaster, which was, it was fine. It was cheap, but it was a nice
Not
guitar. Yeah,
yeah. But
but
not the best to play metal, right?
yeah, it doesn't look very metal. So yeah, I had to get.
You
It's
got to get
because
the
at that
flying V,
time,
man. That's the
yeah.
flying V. The flying
Well,
V is the guitar.
then I got the I got a Ibanez Red Flying V.
Yeah.
So I could be sort of like Randy, and then I also got a that black Strat, so I could be sort of like Dave. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I always wanted to
That's
get
it.
one of those. They were at that time, I believe Adrian played like an Iceman, and sort of like that X kind of guitar that Dean made later on. That Dimebag
Yeah,
played.
for Dimebag, for
Yeah,
the maybe.
yeah, that
Yeah, I
kind
know
of
what you mean. It's like a star, right? Shape.
yeah, and sort of like
No?
the Explorer. Yeah,
Well,
sort of like yeah,
yeah, the
like a
S end
V
was
with
a V, but then
yeah,
it had a little pointy thing on the bottom, right? So
yeah,
it kind of yeah, it looked
yeah,
like a. I
yeah.
think Marty Friedman also had a guitar like that
I
once.
think he
I
did.
don't
Yeah,
know. Yeah, I think it's on the cover of Cacophony or the first record. I
yeah.
don't know what the name of the first record now. I know the name of the second, Go Off. The first one I don't remember. Speed Metal Symphony, something like that.
Oh, it might be. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it tracks Speed Metal Symphony,
It
right?
does.
So
It
that's
totally does.
a good name for an
Yeah.
album, as any
Yeah.
guitar shredding album. Speed Metal Symphony, right?
But that was like the after Randy,
Yeah,
that started, and then of course there was Ingve as well. But
yeah,
that kind of started that whole, like you mentioned, Paul Gilbert,
yeah,
Jason Becker, all these like
yeah,
Tony McAlpine, all these
yeah.
like, and
Sure.
I got into that for a while.
Yeah.
But after a while, it all started to sound the same, and I just like,
Yeah, it
whatever.
becomes stale, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
I
still
get what
have
you
some of
mean. I
those
get.
albums, but I'm like,
Yeah,
Racer X and stuff, which was good, but after a while, you're like, oh, I'm kind of burned out on it.
Oh, it's not for every day. No, I
Yeah.
understand and I agree with you. I'm on the same page. Sometimes I want to listen to shred guitars. I'm gonna listen to Racer X. I'm gonna listen to those things. Yeah, sure. But it kind of, after a while, it becomes a little, just, okay, okay, I'm gonna listen to something else,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
yeah, and then on the 80s, we have a lot of guys. I know you like George Lynch, for instance.
Oh,
I
for
know
sure.
you
Yep.
do, and. We had Vito Bratta from White Lion as
Oh
well.
yeah. Yeah. When they did that cover
He
of
had that kind of
what was
yeah,
it? Radar Love.
Radar Love from Golden Earring, yeah,
Yeah.
the Dutch
Fantastic
band, yeah,
solo. Yep.
yeah.
And then
Uh,
was it Tooth and Nail, the Dokken album?
Tooth and Nail, yeah, yeah.
Because I remember hearing Paris is Burning and
That's
George
from Breaking the
Lynch.
Chains, I
Is that
believe, yeah,
Breaking the Change? Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that solo in there with George, I was like, oh wow,
yeah.
yeah, so good.
It's
Yeah.
it's awesome. And then there was what was the other one? The Winger guy, the Red
Oh
Beach,
yeah, Red
Red
Beach.
Beach,
I went
yeah,
to a guitar clinic. That actually,
yeah,
that purple guitar you can kind of see that he played that
yeah,
guitar.
yeah.
And I bought it
Yeah,
used because there was like it had been signed. The signature's way it got rubbed
yeah,
off. I didn't care.
yeah,
Actually, I used to own. So I he did this clinic in Ann
yeah,
Arbor
yeah.
at this local music store that's sadly now gone. But
Mm,
he played that guitar, which I
yeah.
had another guitar like that. It's an Ibanez 540, really thin and great playing guitar. Anyway, he was playing that through a Marshall, and I was
Mhm.
in the market for a Marshall and then a second guitar. And so I bought the Marshall head that he played, and I bought that because they were used, and so they were
Okay,
selling them like a third off. I'm
cool.
like, all right. So that's my Red Beach connection.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we've talked about him before, so I knew what I was getting into when I mentioned it. So.
But he's a hell of a guitar player,
Yeah.
and Winger, I it was the music was okay,
Yeah.
but compared to like Dokken, I think
Mhm.
Winger was better. I mean, I think
Yeah.
I like
Musically,
George
as a
Lynch, but
band, as a
yeah,
whole. Yeah.
yeah.
As a whole, I
Don
understand what
Dokken
you
could
mean.
not sing. He could not sing back then. He still and definitely can't now. But Kip
No,
Winger was
no. It's
actually a fairly talented guy.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
just the
And
music was
it's
kind of
good to
dorky.
I don't know if I mentioned this before. It's good to to listen to these songs without the Bull Hill production because there was many years ago they did a demos release.
Mm,
So it was all the songs from the first album and maybe the second. I might be wrong in this, but definitely the first one and then some of the second that were completely stripped of those, 80s polish excess, just the guys playing. It's a lot rawer. It's more
yeah,
definitely more raw than the final product that came out. Not that I'm saying bad at Bo Hill. Bo Hill is an excellent producer, but he did what he was after. It was
yeah,
what was required of him. He
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
that. They wanted the labels wanted that. He did
Hmm.
that. Okay, fine. Um, and that's got a merit to itself. But the stripped down versions are for me are better without some of those keyboards.
I don't think
That
I've listened to that. I'll have to check that out then, because that
yeah,
seems pretty
you
interesting.
should. You
Yeah,
should. You should. It's raw. It's kind of I believe it's what they were going for.
hmm,
But then the record label stepped in, and said, "No,
yeah.
yeah, man, we need some keyboards in here. We
We
need
need a
some
little flash,
choruses. We need a little
some.
flash. We need those big hairs. We need those perms while walking around.
That's right. Yeah.
Speaking of perms, I remember now from John Norum because
Oh
one of the
yeah.
I remember listening the Final Countdown when it came out. It had a burning solo gig
Yeah.
from John Norum, and I'm gonna see the in Europe live, hopefully on June 6th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, June
Fantastic.
6th. Yeah, I'm gonna see them live. It's nearby. It's near Porto, so I'm gonna do it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna take my wife and want to see
Excellent.
Europe. Yeah, okay, let's go. Let's go and see Europe now.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Um, Actually, I've been trying to reach out to some of the guys, but I can't, just to interview them. It would be
Oh
cool,
yeah, that would be
since they're coming
awesome.
to Portugal. That would be awesome, but got no replies,
Oh,
you know.
bummer. That's a
Yeah, nobody
yeah.
replies to Nuno. Nobody likes
Oh
Nuno.
man, come on. Reply. You know what?
Reply, please.
Yeah, on a tangent, like I
Yeah,
get that some of these, folks get so many emails they can never reply,
yeah,
but there are some
yeah,
folks that don't get that many. I'm almost positive, and they still don't
yeah,
reply. I'm like, just
yeah,
just tell me no. I mean, just
yeah,
yeah, That'd be fine.
Where
Just
there's
tell
a
me,
yes, there's a
fuck
no.
off,
Okay, fine.
whatever you want
Yeah,
to do, it's fine,
yeah,
But
yeah,
just to leave you hanging, like,
yeah.
come on.
Actually, I'm in the another tangent, going on a tangent. I'm trying to interview Terry Glaze from Pantera,
Oh,
the original
awesome.
singer.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And he was very fast to reply to me at the first time. He said, "Let's make it happen," but then he
Oh,
just kind of disappeared off the radar.
oh.
I'm gonna have to to see. Hey, Nuno here.
Yeah,
I
remember we
want.
talked about
We know you talked about. I want to talk to you about those great albums, Projects in the Jungle. I Am the Night. Man. I want to talk about that. But
Yeah, that
getting
would be
back
cool.
yeah, to the guitar playing. I don't know if you're familiar with this. I love this guy, and he's from I think it's Norwegian band. I want to say, yeah, maybe TNT. And the
I
guy's
know
name
the
is
band, but I can't.
Ronnie Latecro, the guitar player, because that guy, is completely out of there. Because you think he's gonna do a solo, a normal solo, and he doesn't do it. It's like Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine. Okay, he's got this killer riff, and then the guitar solo is like an helicopter sound or something, or
Yeah.
or a whistle, or a
Right.
fire truck, whatever. But and this guy is kind of like that, in a different way, but it's kind of like that because the riffs are so
Yeah.
are mechanical, great riffing, and then the solos he goes off on whatever he's doing. It's not. I don't know if that is technical or not, but the guy is completely out of it. But he's great. It's good to listen. It's good to listen to him. And
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I've really ever listened to TNT very much. I don't know if I have.
everyone's a star. You're gonna make me sing again, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna
I
make me sing.
I don't think.
Everyone's a star,
I mean, I'm
shining in the
familiar with the name.
spotlight tonight.
No?
That one was more well known song at the time, And but
I th-
getting back to the Europe portion of this, the guy that replaced John Norum on those last albums that they did, which was the one had the girl from Lebanon, and the other one was Out of the Night or something like that. Well, it doesn't matter. It was two albums he recorded with them. Key Marcello, a great
Oh,
guitar player,
yeah.
a fabulous guitar player. His individual note picking is, he's fast as hell, but he's just
Yeah.
he picks every note individually and with the speed, man, his blinding speed. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's kind of it. It's a shame that I think they invited him when they got back together in 2003.
Uh-huh.
I believe they asked them back, but he said no. I don't. He had his reasons. I
Yeah.
don't know what they are, but
Yeah,
he didn't.
maybe
He
he
didn't
moved
want to
on,
join.
you know?
Yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe they didn't have hair or enough hair,
Yeah.
to get a perm on.
That's right.
Yeah, one of these days I was watching what I don't know, maybe it was a Megadeth video, something like that. And I don't know if it was Foreclosure of a Dream, maybe. Yeah, maybe Foreclosure of a Dream from Countdown to Extinction. I was looking at it on YouTube, on TV, on the YouTube app, and my wife came in and she said, "Well, that guy goes to the hairdresser to have his hair, because it was all, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah." And I said, "Probably, probably he does that."
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sure there had to have
yeah,
been some back in those days. Yeah.
yeah,
Late 80s,
yeah.
90s. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You listen to a band like Taiketo, for instance, and on the first record the guy is all scruffy,
Yeah.
no makeup on, and then on the second release there's money, the label has money for them, he becomes with this big hair, and all this makeup, on,
Yeah. You're like,
But a fantastic
"Oh."
band. I love the band. I love Taiketo. I'm not saying bad of Taiketo. I love the band. I love the band. I love the singer, and the guitar playing is also phenomenal. Like like Skid Row. Skid Row had the Dave Szabo and Scott Hill,
Oh yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
great duo, a great guitar duo.
Yep.
And I think they're, in terms of, hair metal and stuff, adjacent hard rock, and they're kind of forgotten, but they are excellent players, both of them.
Yeah.
And then Skid Row as a band, it's a cool band,
Yeah.
especially the releases with the Sebastian Bach on vocals. Yeah.
Yeah.
The, and then there's this Eric Eric Norland was something like that. Eric something, not Eric the Viking, but Eric something. That did one of his. I think it was the last album, the latest release, studio release. He sang
Oh,
pretty well as well.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't even remember who. I mean, I remember Skid Row
Yeah,
just like, but it was in passing, and I just
yeah,
remember not very being at that point in time. I'd
yeah,
moved into like thrash world, and I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't want anything to do with it because I was actually in a band, and our
Hmm.
singer was very much
Really?
into.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I know. And our singer was very much in, wanted to do these covers of Skid Row, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck Skid Row, never fucking playing that shit, because at the time I'm listening to like
Yeah.
Slayer and Metallica and
Pantera,
yeah, Pantera, Angel
Rothschild
Witch,
America.
Heathen, Forbidden, Death
Yeah.
Angel. So
Forbidden.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
oh, speaking of guitar players, those dudes, that
yeah.
was also very influential for me.
Mm.
I can never remember how to say Craig's last name. Is it Lu- Lu- Luciero? Luciero? I think that's it.
Sounds great,
Luciero.
Luciero. Yeah, it sounds
Yeah,
good.
Craig Luciero, and then Tim Calvert,
The
who
two
ended
guys,
up,
yeah. You mentioned
yeah,
it.
who
Yeah,
ended up playing with Jeff Loomis in
yeah.
Nevermore. My God, oh
Nevermore.
man, so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. In terms
Yeah,
of
Jeff
current,
Loomis
yeah.
is a great guitar player.
Oh my
I, don't-
God.
I don't, for the life of me, I never got into the guy that used to play for Nevermore and then went to play on two releases for Megadeth, Chris Broderick. I'm never into that
Oh
guy.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
never into that guy, you know.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. He
Yeah,
played. He played in a couple other bands, and yeah, I
yeah.
was not
I'm sure
a huge
a lot of
fan.
people, yeah, there are
Yeah,
huge fans out there. I'm sorry for them, and
yeah,
cool for them, actually, cool.
right. Yeah,
But
yeah,
for me, man, no, that even in Megadeth, I couldn't, another solo by this guy. And it seems
yeah,
like he's sweeping the guitar, he's kind of removing the dust from the,
yeah.
just doing that, man. I know that's hard, it's a
Oh
physical
yeah,
exercise and it's very difficult to achieve, I get that, I respect that as on a physical level,
yeah.
but on a playing level, man,
Oh, I know.
go
And
read a book, man.
when
Go
you,
read.
yeah, when you see like some of those videos where Chris was in the band with Jeff,
Yeah.
the difference is night and day for me because Jeff
Yeah.
sounds so he's got his
Organic, right?
yeah, and emotional, and he's got
Emotional, yeah.
the bends where they need to be, and just it sounds beautiful, and he plays
Yeah.
fast. I mean,
Yeah,
just the
yeah,
Godless
he's a fast
Endeavor,
player. Yeah, sure.
it's sweeping mania, alternate
Yeah.
picking,
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah, yeah.
but
He
it's
does it, he
so
does it all.
tasteful.
Yeah.
It sounds so
Yeah,
good,
it is.
and then you hear
Yeah,
Chris Broderick, and
I
it's like,
respect
it
that
feels a little
player
dull.
that can stay grounded, be technical as hell, but still stay grounded, and you can listen to them and be interesting, that's
Yeah,
kind of uh, for instance, for me, Tony McAlpine is one of those players, is an exceptionally gifted technical player. He is.
yeah,
I've seen him live with, like I said, I've seen him with Steve Vai on the and his band. Yeah, Steve Vai. It was Steve Vai. It was Billy Sheehan on bass. It was Tony McAlpine on guitar and keyboards.
oh wow,
And sadly, I didn't see Virgil Donati on drums because on the European leg of the tour, it was Jeremy Colson. Nothing against Jeremy Colson, but Virgil
yeah,
Donati, is up there, and Jack Nicholson is down here.
right,
Sorry for that, but but it's true.
yeah,
And it's true. Don't judge me. You out there, you all know
yeah,
Virgil Donati
yeah.
doesn't. You know,
That's
Jeremy
right.
Colson doesn't can't carry a candle or tune or whatever.
Yeah, and
Not even with 10 sticks.
yeah,
He could do anything against it. But I saw them live, and I think it was Steve that. There was a solo portion from Tony McAlpine, and he did this incredible piano thing on the keyboard, but with the piano sound, the
yeah,
piano. Yeah, and the guy goes, It's not fair that a guy that plays so well the guitar also plays so well the keyboards, man. It's unbelievable." And then we started, yeah, because it was a really cool thing to say. So it's a really talented guy. Actually, on I believe it's on a George Lynch album, I'm gonna say no, a Vinnie Moore record. I believe he plays on a Vinnie Moore record, and he only plays keyboards. He doesn't play guitar at all. I think it's a Vinnie Moore release.
oh,
Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah,
like, well,
because
I
I'm
know I have
thinking about. I think I may be mixing things up because there's an album by Tony McAlpine called Total Security,
yep.
in which George Lynch plays on two
Oh,
tracks.
okay.
one or
Yeah.
two tracks. Okay, so I'm kind of, mixing my guitar heroes and my
Yeah.
drummers and my this is all going in. But it'll make sense in the end. Hold on, because bear with us. It will all make sense in the end.
Yeah, I definitely got into Tony because I have some of his albums actually,
Yeah,
and yeah, that was again in that time frame when there was a bunch of shredders and
yeah,
there was even
yeah.
wasn't there some label that a lot of them were not
Shrapnel,
compact shrapnel? Yeah,
Shrapnel Records, right?
yeah,
Mike
yeah.
Varney,
Mike Burney, that guy.
Mike Varney
Yes,
used to, put him out, churn him out like they
yeah.
were.
Oh, that's right. Because I bought Steeler. Because that was the Ron Keel when he was
Yeah,
in with not Tony McAlpine, but um, Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yeah,
Yeah, the first, I think it was the first American band that he was in.
yeah, yeah. It
It was
was.
Steeler. Then it was in Alcatraz.
Yes. Oh, that's a great. That's really
Yeah,
good, actually.
yeah,
The Alcatraz
Alcatraz.
albums. Yeah.
And then I was a kind of I thought it was weird. A couple of years ago, I saw the release or the announcement of a release of a little box set by Cherry Red Records with all their albums and stuff, singles, live tracks, and whatever. And for the life of me, I can't find it. I don't know if it ever was
Oh,
released or if you go to
just
the
a
web of
dream.
Cherry Red's, it's there. It's there.
Oh.
The little box is there, but I don't have it, and I don't know where to buy it. I don't know if someone knows. Hook me up on the comment, like usual, because I don't think that ever was released. But and then there was this guy, because it was on that band. It was so unfair because it was Malmsteen, then it was Steve Vai, and then Steve Vai left to join David Lee Roth's band. And then this guy, I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but he was a very good player, a good guitar player, but he kind of, got lost in the shuffle because when you're in with Malmsteen and,
Yeah,
that's gonna
Steve.
happen,
Yeah.
Malmsteen and Steve Vai, yeah, it's gonna happen, The
Right.
third guy, who's the hell is that,
Yeah.
It's like,
Didn't they have a
it's
killer
like,
drummer too in that band? Wasn't it? Like the dude
uh,
that I thought they
these
had a
guys
really.
used to have well, I know I'm remembering now Racer X and Scott Travis is on drum in that and
Oh
drumming in that.
yeah,
But that's
yeah,
Scott Travis,
yeah. Uh,
I'm gonna start singing again. Shut up, Nuno. I'm gonna start not singing, yodeling. This is just yodeling.
I'm
As I do on my short videos, I sing a lot,
I'm
Just
doing I'm doing a quick look here to see.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, I don't see it. I thought maybe I knew who it was, but no. Um,
I know the keyboard player was Jimmy Waldo. Yeah, that's the name I remember from Alcatraz, from the band. I remember that name. And Graham Bonnet, of course, on vocals.
yeah.
Because the first time we spoke, I didn't remember his name, Bonnet, but now I do. So on the very first conversation we had, I couldn't name the guy.
Oh
Now I
man.
can. Sorry, Graham.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Graham.
I love
Yeah.
you.
Oh man.
Uh,
I was thinking of another guitar player
yeah,
because we mentioned like being into shredders and then
yeah,
that can be a little bit of a fatigue. I
yeah.
really got into around that time, like early '80s, into David Bowie and Mick
Okay.
Ronson.
Yeah,
His guitar playing, oh my
yeah.
God, so good, especially.
But then we are, at this portion of the conversation, we're going to get into the underrated and forgotten players of
Oh
the world.
yeah,
So, like,
yeah,
Mick Ronson would be one of them, for sure.
yeah,
Another guitar player that is not mentioned in the same bracket as, the David Gilmours of the world or something like that would be Rory Gallagher, which is a
oh
fantastic
yeah,
player.
oh
Yeah.
for sure,
And then one a little more obscure, Roy Buchanan, the guy's awesome player, those guys from the 70s that tend to be forgotten and are very good players.
yeah,
And even when you talk about Peter Green on Fleetwood Mac before he got his head toasted by the drugs and
yeah,
the meltdown, but that guy could play,
hell yeah,
he was a Eric Clapton used to say that the guy was so that's kind of a
yeah,
a big thing when he
and
does it because
around that time,
yeah,
I think, or maybe a little later, probably.
yeah.
Terry Kath from
Terry Cat from
Chicago.
Chicago, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The guy
that
who
guy.
died with a firearm incident, yeah.
Yeah,
Terrible situation,
yeah. But that
But
dude
he was
was fantastic.
Yeah.
So good.
But that's another thing. I was talking to a friend of mine one of these days, and he said, "Well, Chicago records blow, but live they're fantastic." Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Apart from the first record, the Chicago Transit Authority released, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good record. That's an
It
but
is.
then no,
Yeah.
but the live release, live in Japan, live in whatever, the Chicago live at that time, go and listen to it because it's gonna be great, and
Yeah.
it's got great playing, phenomenal playing from everybody in the band. But Terry Kath would be an unsung hero. Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy would be. And you know that I don't know if I mentioned this before. In the 80s, that there was this guy. The later Saxon covered one of his songs, "Ride Like the Wind." Christopher Cross.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He's a damn
remember
good
that guy?
guitar player,
Yes,
actually.
he was.
Yeah.
He actually replaced Richie Blackmore on two dates in the United States when the guy was had the flu or something.
Yeah.
In I'm gonna say early to mid, the first time that Deep Purple went to the States, which was around 72, 73, I'm gonna say.
Wow.
The guy played with a band.
That's
He
crazy.
replaced Richie Blackmore because Richie Blackmore couldn't make it. He was sick at the time. So at least on two or three concerts in America, it was Christopher Cross that played guitar for them. And
Man.
then the guy's a fantastic guitar player.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
and another one kind of within that lineage of Deep Purple is
yeah,
or maybe it's Rainbow. Tommy Bolin.
Deep Purple. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Fantastic
believe
guitar.
Come and Taste the Band was
I think he was
because
on
Storm. I
was
think, or Come and Taste the Band or Stormbringer. I don't know,
yeah.
one of those albums, or both. No,
Or
just one.
was he
Yeah.
on Burn? No.
No, Burn, no. Burn is Richie
No.
Blackmore.
Yeah,
That's for
that's
sure.
Richie.
That's
Yeah.
that's still Richie. That's still
Yeah.
Richie. And the next album is still Richie because there's a song called Hold On. And the guitar solo on that was played on one take, and he was so pissed off with the rest of the band because they were doing this funky thing, and he didn't appreciate that much. So he just got into the booth and just did that solo on one take, and it's a fantastic bluesy solo, one of the best that Richie Blackmore ever did. But it was out of spite that he did that.
Spite.
Bad Richie, you're bad.
Oh,
Actually,
man.
he was very sick recently. He had to cancel some concerts by his band. His uh,
Whatever they're doing
Richie
now.
Blackmore's
Yeah.
Richie
Rainbow, is it?
Blackmore's
Oh,
Blackmore's what? Blackmore's Forest, and I don't Blackmore's Night. Blackmore's Night. Yeah, that's it. Blackmore's Night. The band he has with his wife, with Candice Night. Yeah.
oh, okay.
And he had to cancel. Fortunately, I think he's better now, but he was a little bit under the weather recently. Maybe a couple of months ago, we had to cancel some dates, and it's
He's
good
get-
that he's
gotta
around
be
and he's
getting
still
up there,
playing.
right?
Yeah.
He's got to be up there. How old is he? Richie.
I'm gonna say 84,
Wow.
83, 84, maybe.
Oh, you know who else is still going? That's kick-ass guitar player is Robin Trower.
Robin Trower, yeah.
Yeah, he's in his 80s for
Yeah.
sure.
Awesome.
Richie-
Robin Trower is an awesome guitar player.
Richie Blackmore is 80 years old.
Ah, man. Sorry, Richie. I said you were 83. Sorry, man. 3 years.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's about the same age as Robin Trower. I can let those.
Because I know Richie Blackmore is going to see this, and sorry,
Yeah.
Richie.
It's like Robin Trower is 81. So
81.
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Robert, great for you, man.
It is always
And
a great
another
time
guy
talking
that in
with my
blues
friend
that's
Nuno.
still kicking
Be sure to
ass,
check
buddy
out the
guy.
show notes for
Oh,
links
yeah,
to all
Buddy.
the bands,
Yeah.
music,
Yeah,
and
He's still
artists
kicking
mentioned
ass, man.
in this
Still
episode.
kicking
Yes.
ass. Still
He's,
doing
Bands are
great
nothing
music.
without you, the
Yeah,
fans.
I saw
Purchasing
he's
music
actually
and
coming
merchandise is critical to their survival.
this summer.
If you
Yeah.
can help out your
But
favorite
he's
bands, please
89.
do.
89, right?
80.
So
Consider buying the playing and
that is a guitar player, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen.
That's the
89 years old and
Southeast.
still kicking ass, you know?
Yeah,
Facebook
hell
pages.
yeah. Still
They are
out there
fantastic
touring and
places
stuff,
for
man.
bands
Yeah,
Jeez
yeah, that's cool.
Louise.
To support each
Yeah,
other
that's
and
cool.
share our combined
Because
love
when
of music.
you were talking
Thank you all
about
so much for listening.
right at the beginning
Be sure to hit
of our
subscribe on
conversation,
your
just to
favorite
to
podcast service to
get
get
reach
each
the
and
full
every
circle. There's
episode of Fans
all
of Bands.
these
Spread the
these
word by
highly
rating the
technical
show,
players
telling
like
your friends,
Guthrie
telling your
Govan,
neighbors,
and
telling your family,
the,
telling your priest, tell
the
everyone.
dude is great.
Leave it
I'm
at
not saying
We want to
he
hear
isn't
what you
great, but
You can keep in touch
when
by
you
following
reach
us on
enough,
social media.
at the end of the day,
This is a
okay,
Lakeland, Michigan
okay,
production.
he's good.
Until
Okay,
next
he's
time.
technical.
Be
Great.
well.
Great for you,
Kick
man.
out the
Yeah.
J.
Where's the paranoid riff? Where's
Right,
the
yeah.
smoke on the water? Where's the
I
nothing
know.
like that. Nothing resonates. And it's kind of it begins to be like almost like a circus spectacle sometimes. I don't know. I feel like that.
Yeah. it
There are
becomes
certain
more
players.
like, yeah, how can we be
Yeah, it's
more
just the
extravagant,
physical,
do things differently, or I
the
don't know.
yeah,
And
a
the
lot of
song
players
suffers.
can't. Yeah, a lot of players can't, can't transverse to that. Like for instance, Paul Gilbert can, because Paul
Oh
Gilbert can
yes.
play, can shred, he can do hard rock, he can do comedic, he can do whatever he wants with his
And
guitar, and it resonates.
yeah.
You name a few songs, and you can name a few songs from Racer X, and
Yeah.
then from Mr. Big. A lot of no, but these guys, tend to be, one of the. I was watching the other day. I was watching the interview with that guy, that jazz guy that does tapping on Rick Beato's channel, Stanley Jordan.
Oh.
You know, man, he shreds on that thing. He just uses he doesn't use a pick. He just uses his hands. Would be difficult for me because I only have one. But okay, I would just do this with one hand. But I,
Right.
I wish I had this the ability he has in one hand, in his left hand, right?
Oh
But
yeah. Yeah.
he's an awesome player, and he was explaining all his philosophy and stuff like that. It's a fascinating interview, actually, by Beato. And the other guitar player that I interviewed recently that I found was very good was Richie Kotzen.
Oh
We
yeah.
played about him because he has solo stuff. He played with Mr. Big. He played with Poison. He has some cool, relatively cool projects with Billy Sheehan and Mike Portnoy from Dream
Yep.
Theater. I'm
Yep.
gonna say the Winery Dogs. Yeah,
Winery
the
dogs,
Winery
yes.
Dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then there's this guy that used to play with he used to play with Guns N' Roses, Bumblefoot, Ron
Oh
Thal.
yeah, Ron Thal, yeah.
Use that double-necked guitar, one with fretless, that kind of looks like,
Yeah.
the guy can really shred, man. That guy can play the. I don't know how we can, how we can carry that kind of guitar, because that's huge, man. That's what, I don't know how many pounds that is, but the guy
Yeah.
can really shred that thing off, and he's an interesting player, and even in his solo records, he tends to be a little more comedic. It has a lot of stuff going on. It's not just just shredding for shredding's sake. So
Yeah,
that's kind of
there's
cool
good
stuff.
riffs and good
Yeah,
songwriting that makes it
yeah,
like, so when he
yeah,
is, just doing some crazy solo, it sounds in
yeah,
context. It doesn't sound like
yeah,
just
yeah,
mindless
definitely, yeah,
riffing, right?
yeah. For
Yeah, I saw
instance,
him with
yeah,
the Metal Allegiance.
yeah,
Remember that kind of like best of band? It had Chuck
yeah,
Berry
I
and
know it. Yeah,
Mark
super groups. Yeah,
Asaguea, and
yeah.
Skolnick was in there, with playing with
Oh,
him.
great, great.
Yeah.
Skolnick is my buddy on Substack.
Oh,
He has replied to
oh,
me one or two times.
oh man. Yeah,
Yeah, one
I
or two
love that.
times.
That dude, he's
Actually, one of
definitely
these
an
days you
idol.
published that photo, that Skolnick photo, and I linked it to him. I don't know if you ever got to. I don't know if you ever got to put on a like or something like that,
Oh
but
man.
I said, "Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because Alex Skolnick needs to see this, because it was a cool pic, a very cool pic."
Yeah,
Because
they
Chuck's
were.
the photographer, ladies and gentlemen.
he,
Just so you know.
yeah, Alex Skolnick. He was another influence for me. Definitely
Yeah,
back when I was playing
for
and
sure.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other guitar player I was just thinking of is. So I don't know if you can see my shirt,
Earthless.
but it says
Earthless, yeah.
Earthless
Earthless,
and
yeah.
Isaiah
Yeah.
Mitchell. Oh man, that guy. And Fish. Oh yeah, hell yeah, Fishbone.
Fishbone. My wife said, "Why are you wearing this?" I'm going to wear a t-shirt. I have to wear a t-shirt to talk to. That's the rule. That's the
Yeah,
rule. I have to wear a t-shirt to
gotta wear
talk to
something. Yeah.
Shackman. Yeah, because I bought the record,
Oh,
the
awesome.
latest. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
love
I
Fishbone.
don't think it's not by any label or international label or whatever. So I bought it in the site that I was rerouted to that site from their website. So I bought it there, and I bought the
Nice.
T-shirt. So I bought it in a combo, so a combo sort of thing. So I said, yeah, that's cool. And I it's one of those bands that when I was younger, I didn't pay much attention to.
Mhm.
But now I really enjoy the sound. They did a killer cover of Them Bones by Alice in Chains
Oh
recently.
wow, really?
A killer cover, yeah. It's a very, very good cover. You
Wow.
should listen to that because it's really cool.
Yeah, I love
Uh,
that. I think I saw
yeah,
them. Uh, they might have done Lollapalooza, and I think that's when I got
sounds
exposed.
like them. Sounds like Lollapalooza band.
Yeah.
Like James Addiction,
Yeah.
Pornos
Yeah.
Papyrus,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
something
yeah,
like
Dave
that.
Navarro. He's a damn good
Yeah,
guitar player. Speaking of,
yes, he is.
uh,
Actually, for instance, take Red Hot Chili Peppers, for instance. I'm not a big Red Hot Chili
yeah,
Peppers fan. I'm sorry to
I can do a
say,
few
but
tunes, but whatever.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But the album, probably the album I love the most, or at least I tolerate, let's say that I like, is the one where Dave Navarro plays guitar, which is
Yeah. Yeah.
One Hot Minute, I
Yeah.
believe. So sorry, Red Hot Chili Peppers fans. Sorry.
I know, because well, yeah. I mean, I get it. Some people
No,
love it.
I
I love
enjoy.
Flea. I think he's great. But
Yeah,
I
yeah, it's
just, yeah,
great. And the Mother's Milk,
yeah,
that
yeah.
you
There's
you
a
kind
few
of
good,
listen to
yeah.
it. It's
But
cool.
yeah,
It's cool.
and I think Anthony, where is it?
Anthony
Maybe,
Kiedis, right?
yeah. I
That's
think
his.
he's originally from Michigan, isn't he? Maybe.
I don't know.
I think
Maybe.
so.
Anthony, if you're listening, and I know you are, you know,
I think it's
I know you're
because
gonna
yeah,
listen to this.
yeah, just like Maynard from Tool, he's from Michigan. So
Oh, that's my buddy. My tool, that's my buddy. He likes my reviews on Loudhailer, so yeah,
there you
kudos to
go.
him, right?
Fantastic.
Actually, I saw today or yesterday. I saw on Facebook the guys from Crimson Glory uh,
Yeah.
published my review or a
Oh,
text.
really? Awesome.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Awesome.
So they kind of it's kind of cool that they liked it, you know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
I always
trying to
love that.
interview them. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
trying to interview them, but then Christine kind of, got in the way and said that I was doing it for the magazine. I said I wasn't, then I just mentioned the magazine as,
Yeah.
as you would, right?
Oh, for sure.
I'm
Yeah.
Nuno from Substack. I work on Loudhailer. That would
Yeah.
on that
Share it
on that
away.
note, but yeah, but Crimson Glory for me is one of, I always loved Crimson Glory. I would love to interview the guys, from the band, but
Yeah.
whatever, no
Yeah,
biggie.
yeah.
When you hear this, you're gonna regret it because we're gonna be big. Me and Chuck, we're gonna be huge around
Yeah.
here.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to we'll set our sights on a few a few people that are diehard music fans, heavy
Yeah.
fans, because I think
Yeah.
that's where, it's not that there's not people out there doing it, but not enough. You can get
Yeah.
8,000 people talking about, I don't
Yeah,
know,
what we're doing here,
indie
this is
rock or
cool,
whatever.
just
But yeah, but
just
sometimes,
two dudes talking about music, and I think
yeah,
we do a good job. People tend to like it. I've seen
yeah.
some very positive comments on our conversations. The ones that are not positive, screw you. I don't care. I don't
All
care.
I've seen is good. All I've seen
Yeah,
is good.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
me too. So that was kind of, but it's important, I love having a good conversation, especially about music. So it kind of bring the word out, and we didn't talk about Michael Schenker yet. Not even,
Oh, I
we
know.
didn't talk about him,
We
right?
left him off. Yeah, because he's
Uh,
yeah, that's another guy just like
yeah,
so good, so
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Actually, I was, what was it, yesterday or the day before? I saw a video by a guy that hasn't gotten back to me, Phil Aston from Now Spinning magazine. He hasn't gotten back to me. I want to talk to you. Phil, if you're listening to this, I
Yeah.
want to talk to you. And the guy was talking about a little box set that just came out of 4 or 5 live releases by Michael Schenker Group
Oh,
from 80 to 84. Okay, so he was saying that the sound was great. He was saying because he told the audience, told us that it was probably his favorite guitar player, and I'm on board with that. And then,
yeah.
it's a fantastic player. Melodic when it has to be, aggressive when it has to be. But he's got some killer riffs.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy he can shred. He can play acoustic guitar like no one. He has that those. I don't know how we call them. Thank you. Thank you there. Thank you one, thank you two, and thank you three. So a lot of thank yous. And they're all the acoustic guitar playing, and he's doing all these sounds, all these like sirens and stuff. He pulls off all these sounds from his guitar. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Mikey, if you're listening to me,
Yeah.
you know my number.
Yeah. Somebody shared, it tagged me on a video recently of him
Yeah,
playing. I don't know where it was, but they said, because I, have been sort of obsessed with his UFO stuff, especially Rock
yeah,
Bottom and Lights
yeah,
Out, and
yeah,
he's playing Rock Bottom.
Yeah.
And that riff is deceptive. It sounds simple, but it's deceptively it's just a slightly hard to play, at least for me. Yeah,
No, it's
but
got
it's
this
so
kind of
good.
twist, it's
Yeah,
kind of twisty and
yeah,
serpentine riff. It's not.
yeah,
It sounds actually. It sounds simple, but it's not that simple. I get what you.
yeah.
I get what you mean. I get what you
To
mean.
play it in time and
Yeah.
play it like him, you're just like, oh man. Yeah, yeah.
Actually, the guy was also the Phil Aston. If you're listening, Phil, I want to talk to you. And I know you are. Don't hide. Don't be shy. He was talking about the latest UFO re-release of what was it? The Wild, the Weird, and the Innocent. Wild, the Weird, and the Innocent.
Oh, I
The
don't
Weird, the
know.
Wild, and the Innocent. The It was with Paul Chapman. It was the second album because
Oh,
there's Schenker Exits. There's the first album, which is called No Place to Run, produced by Sir George Martin from the Beatles fame. Just a little snippet, just to know that I know my stuff. And then the second release is The Wild, the Weird, the Wild, the Wilding, and the Innocent. Yeah, I think it's called like that. And he says that that record, and I was listening to it today, and it's a fantastic record. Even Paul Chapman is a great guitar player, and he used to be in UFO. People don't tend to um, before he substituted Schenker in the band. There was a time, maybe 2 or 3 concerts, not more than that, but when there were 2 guitar players, Michael Schenker and Paul Chapman. But then Michael
oh,
Schenker said, "Nah, I'm not going with that. I'm not comfortable with having another lead guitar player with me." So the guy was booted from the band, and he formed another band, and Lone Star. He formed Lone Star. There's 2 releases,
oh,
2
okay.
very interesting releases. And then when Schenker got fed up with being beaten up by Phil Mogg, because the guy used to be mean as a snake, and he
Oh,
used to beat him up literally. Yeah,
oh, really?
if the guy
Oh,
wasn't in line, yeah, Phil Mogg is that kind of guy, and
oh, what
not
a
pissing on
bummer.
Phil. I love Fig. I love Phil Mogg. I love Phil Mogg. I love him.
Yeah,
I love him to death. He's one of my favorite
he's,
vocalists. But the
yeah,
guy, he
kind
has a
of
temper.
not necessarily a nice dude to
No,
be
not
around.
necessarily a guy, a nice guy. And he used to, Michael Schenker used to have the short end of the stick, so to speak. So that kind of, the other guys not so much, but him, yeah, he used to. So that's kind of one of the reasons that he left the band, or the main reason actually, he left the band in the early 80s, maybe, no, late 70s, yeah,
Yeah, I was just
70s.
looking.
Yeah,
Looks like he was on Mechanics. The last
yeah,
album he was on was Mechanics
yeah,
in
yeah,
'82,
yes.
and
So
then
the Wild, the Willing, and the
and
Innocent would be 81, probably, right?
yeah,
No,
and
probably
then we got
something like.
Neil Carter. It looks like.
Neil Carter is the keyboard player, right?
Yeah, they don't list any guitar players here in the
No.
next album.
After
But
Paul Chapman, there was this guy, this American dude called Atomic X
oh,
something.
oh, that
Not Phil
guy.
X.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
Atomic.
I interviewed that dude. I
You
think.
did?
Yeah,
Yeah, Atomic something. I don't know what something atomic. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. But he has X, right? It's like
Yeah, Atomic
yeah,
X. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, The Wild, the Willing, and the Innocent was
That's
81.
it. That's it.
And yeah, he
That's the
took
record that
over
he. Yeah,
in 80 on No Place to
80. Yeah,
Run.
no place to run. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
the guy, yeah, he could play. He could really play and fit the song, and he was a good songwriter.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hell
and
yeah.
those Lone Star releases are also very interesting. I think he has two releases by that band, Lone Star. Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
and that's also very interesting.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy, man.
yeah.
So we're approaching the end of our
Well,
chat, man. Do you think
fortunately,
of
we
any?
didn't have some technical difficulties like last
Yeah.
time. The last time we burned 15 minutes. I don't know doing what,
Oh
but
yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I think it was because my microphone. I
yeah,
I
something
had
like that.
yeah.
Something weird.
Oh yeah.
Stuff that happens, ladies and gentlemen. When you're
Yeah.
live, you're live.
That's right.
You just go
Mechanical
with the
diff.
flow.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, this. Come on. Awesome, man. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll have to. Yeah, we've got plenty of other
Oh, yeah, sure,
topics
for sure. Yeah,
lined up.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it'll be awesome.
People are eager to hear what we have to
That's
say
right.
about
Yeah.
stuff.
What are
Yeah,
those two goofballs going to
yeah.
talk
What are
about
what are they
next?
doing to what? What's the topic? This
Yeah.
I bet it's something very interesting, very challenging. you know. And these guys, these dudes are professional. They know what they, they know what they're talking about. They know their stuff, man. Yeah,
Oh, man. Awesome. Well,
yeah,
buddy, thank
yeah,
you again for being on Fans with Bands, for doing this with
yeah.
me. I appreciate
A
it.
pleasure as
Yeah.
always.
And
Yeah,
we'll do this again soon.
yeah, sure, sure.
All right, all right, man. See ya.
All right.
It is always a great time talking with my friend Nuno. Be sure to check out the show notes for links to all the bands, music, and books mentioned in this episode.
Bands are nothing without you, the fans. Purchasing music and merchandise is critical to their survival. If you can help out your favorite bands, please do. If you're in Michigan, consider following the Playing in Detroit Area Tonight and SE for Southeast Michigan Music Facebook pages. They are fantastic places for fans and bands to support each other and share our combined love of music. Thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast service to get each and every episode of Fans with Bands. Spread the word by rating the show, telling your friends, telling your neighbors, telling your family, telling your priest, tell everyone, and leave a comment. We want to hear what you think. You can keep in touch by following us on social media. This is a Life in Michigan production. Until next time, be well and kick out the jams.